Give me one. We're all set. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We have Assistant Coach Brandy Poole, followed by JJ and Beatrice Bonpremier. Atlanta is Coach Brandy's scout, so she'll be an expert on all things Atlanta. We'll go ahead and get started. Just please raise your hand and I will call on you. Pepper?
Hi, Coach. It's great to see you. So I was just wondering, how did John Quell look in practice today, and what are your expectations for her in game one?
Good question. We were really excited to have JJ back. You know, obviously she opted out last season, so it's been a minute since she's been back in some Connecticut Sun gear, and it was nice to see. It was fun to see. And she just, you know, she brings a good energy to practice, and JJ's always fun to be around. And then having Breanne January back in practice today too, just having our vets back together. They're smart. They can talk themselves through things. They understand what we're doing. So it was fun. It was a fun day. It's nice having JJ back.
Thank you.
Charlotte?
Brandy, this is Charlotte Kell from The Athletic. It's nice to meet you face to face. Hi. So what did you see? You mentioned Bree was back in practice today for the first time. What did you see from her specifically?
Well, gosh, Breanne just brings such leadership to us. She's just like the definition of a true professional, right? She knows how to work. She knows how to come into the gym and prepare for a game. She has been on our Just Play, learning what we've been doing in practice thus far, learning Atlanta until she could be here in person. She just knows how to study the game and understand the game plan without having to be on the court. And then she gets on the court and she knows what she's doing. She can help talk to our younger people. Just a true professional, a true leader for us. And until we get Jazz Thomas back out of protocols too, like we really need the veteran voices of Breanne January, of DeWanna Bonner, of AT on the sidelines. So yeah, just having that experience back in practice and on the game floor truly helps us.
Is Jazz back in Connecticut then? I know Kurt said, or Chris said yesterday, I think she was traveling to Connecticut.
Yeah, she's traveling. She should be here starting her COVID protocols, getting ready. Yeah, she's here, got back in her apartment. We haven't seen her yet. She has to come in and test every day, but she has to stay away from everybody. So she gets through that, you know, all of our COVID policies. But I'm sure she's doing the same thing Bree January was. She's on our app studying our plays, what we've put in so far. And Jazz, again, just like Bree January, true professional, she'll be ready to go once she's cleared protocols.
What have you seen, I guess, chemistry wise, now that you've gotten JJ back for a few days? And I know Breanne's just her first day, but as that's kind of starting to meld a little bit more.
Right. And that's a good question. And that's obviously something we look for as coaches. And just like last year, when we added DeWanna Bonner to the mix, like they'd never played together and we were without JJ. So we're trying to figure out, one, how to play without JJ, but then add DB to the mix. This year, it's a little bit of the same. Like we have to learn how to play without AT, you know, who anchored our offense and our defense. Now to playing with JJ again and DB, they've never played together. But you know what, early in practice, and we've had 2 practices, they have a really good synergy together. They play off of each other well. So we're excited to watch that grow and watch our chemistry grow. I mean, honestly, this was our first practice having, you know, all of our vets back, with the exception, you know, Jazz Thomas, we're still waiting on her, but we had a veteran lineup again to play together. This was the first day, you know, it's the day we leave for our first game.
Any other questions for Coach Brandy?
I'll go again, since you're doing the Atlanta scout. What have you seen from the Dream and just their front court, or excuse me, their back court?
Oh my gosh, they're just fast. They're fast. Like all we've talked about is our transition defense and getting the ball slowed down. Their little guards are fast and multiple people will push. Their posts are fast and they rim run. So the first and foremost, our key for Friday night is transition defense. We've got to get them into the half court and make them execute. You know, and then they've got multiple point guards. They're going to play multiple small guards on the floor at the same time. And they're going to be a problem. You know, they're going to be in middle ball screens. They're going to be getting down lane lines and creating for themselves and for others. And so we have our hands full. But then they, you know, those small guards got to guard us on the other end of the floor as well. So it's always that chess match a little bit, but lots of speed. And I think on the defensive end of the floor, they're going to get up in us and pressure us a lot more than we've seen so far in the preseason between New York and Dallas, who didn't have a ton of pressure on our wings, a ton of ball pressure on us. Like, we're going to have to be ready to handle that. And we just haven't seen that yet in the preseason.
Thank you.
I know Alexa just joined us. Do you have any questions for Coach?
Yeah, hey Brandy. Sorry, I was running a few minutes late. I mentioned
Hey, Alexa.
to this, but did Bree January practice today? Or how's, what's her status, and how excited are you guys to finally get her on the
Yeah, no, we just talked about that, but yeah, she was in practice today. Again, it's all about her veteran leadership, right? She is a true professional. She's been studying, so she knows what we've put in already. She was ready to roll, and was ready to go. So she's been great. It's been fantastic. Nice to have her back in practice. Nice to have our vets all together back in practice.
So you guys were able to give, I think Kurt had mentioned at one point, some like video stuff to the vets, like as they were finishing up overseas, that they could kind of keep up with. Like, how did that work out? Like, how much could they actually study or prepare when they were still overseas?
Yeah, a ton. We have a little app called Just Play that's right on their phones. And then Chris is great with the point guards. So he puts up a summary every day after practice through training camp, like what we put in that day, offensively and defensively, what plays, what we've been talking about. And then obviously for Atlanta, the last couple of days between Chris and I both, this is my scout and him talking to them as point guards. Like, we've been trying to educate them as much as possible, and they can just jump on their phones and watch any video we upload, watch anything that we've put in, so they know what we have from our playbook in already. And so again, and that speaks to them as veterans, as true professionals, understanding that's their job to know and understand what we're doing, right?
For sure. I love technology these days. They can.
Yeah, it's great. It's been super helpful in these COVID times for sure, right? I mean, look how we're interviewing right now.
Definitely. Thank you.
Any last question for Coach? We are a little bit on
Like I could just,
time constraint because we're about to head out to the airport. So
Annette, you're a little slow right now.
go ahead. Doug.
yeah, and if I could just jump in quick. Hi, Brandy, it's Doug with
No
Hearst Connecticut.
question? I see you're unmuted.
Yeah,
Okay, Doug, go ahead. Sorry.
I just
Oh,
want-
Yeah, you were a little
hang
off.
on.
the impact of having John Quell back, both obviously on the court, there's a significant impact, of course, but just even in practice and kind of what she brings, how has that been different for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been different, and like, as much as we miss AT and what she did for us, JJ is a different player, right? So we've had to tweak our offensive because JJ just brings a different skill set as far as her shooting and her rim protection and things like that. So we've tweaked our playbook a little bit. What's going to work well now for our big three of Bree Jones and JJ and DeWanna Bonner. Like, Bree Jones still has to touch the ball, right? We played through her all last year in the Wubble, and it was fantastic. JJ's got, where can we get JJ touches on the block and on the perimeter, and DB, the ball's got to be in her hands to make plays. And so a little bit different look at times because we have to play to our strengths, and those strengths are different now with different people on the floor.
Any
We're
other
good?
questions for Brandy?
I know y'all want to talk to JJ. She's coming.
Okay, perfect.
As you should. Thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey, everyone, please just go ahead and raise your hand for questions for JJ. My Wi-Fi is a little spotty, so I'm just going to piggyback off of JJ's audio and call on you from here. We'll start off with Pepper.
Hi, John Quell. It's great to talk with you. So I was just wondering, what does it mean to be back with this team and with this organization?
Oh, great question. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It means a lot to be back with this team and this organization. Obviously, this is an organization that has essentially drafted me. This is where I've been my entire WNBA career. So it feels really, really good. Just watching the games last summer, I felt like I was missing out, and I miss being out there with them. So it's good to be back. I love being back. And obviously this organization is world class. They treat us like professional athletes. They treat us very well. And I love being here because Connecticut is just a chill vibe. You know, I'm from the Bahamas. So this is the type of setting that I like to be in. So it's good all around. I love being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alexa?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if Annette was calling on us. Hey, JJ, it's great to see you. Welcome back. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good.
Good, good. You mentioned it a little bit just now, but how was it to watch from afar the whole bubble season and experience? How much were you watching? How much were you talking with the team, and just with your own also, your decision to opt out? Did you kind of feel like at the end of the day, like you were, you made the right decision, and it all kind of worked out from that perspective?
Yeah, I definitely was in constant contact with my teammates, Alyssa, DB, just talking to them about the games and stuff. I watched when I could, which is like all the time because we were all locked down in the Bahamas. But I was at peace with my decision. I was at peace with it, and I enjoyed the time with my family and just kind of relaxing, something that I haven't been able to do since I don't even know how long. So it just felt good to be able to be in the Bahamas and be in that setting. But I was at peace with the decision, but definitely when the team started to make that late playoff push, I wanted to be there. Like if I could have just like said, take me back for the rest of the playoffs and let me play, I would have done that for sure. Cause I definitely wanted to be there, seeing how close the team was and understanding that we have a team that can compete for a championship. So it's going to be interesting to see her without AT, but we still have a lot of things planned.
And then just to follow up on that, with your, you finally got back into the swing of competition with your overseas season, and were wildly successful there. So how did you think that went, and how did that, you think prepare you for getting back in the WNBA this year?
Oh, I think it went great. We didn't lose a game, so I don't think you can do too much better from that standpoint. But I just worked on a lot of things and was able to just obviously sharpen myself playing against the best players every day in practice, playing with them on the court. So overseas is always great. Russia is a good experience, and I'm happy to be going back there. But yeah, ready for the season to start.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Doug, we'll go over to you.
Hey, John Quell, this is Doug Funzor with Hearst Connect Media. Just going back to last year, in the Bahamas, how did you kind of keep up in, conditioning shape, basketball shape? I know that was an issue for obviously a lot of players during the pandemic.
Yeah, so luckily for me, my childhood coach in the Bahamas, he has like access to all the gyms and stuff because he works in like the Ministry of Sports. So he was able to get me, and I would go and work out in the mornings at like 9 a.m. and do workouts and stuff with him and like a few other young players that wanted to stay in shape while they were on the island. So I had access to a gym, and they were able to like block it off just for us. And we didn't have to worry about like, random people coming in and worrying about COVID and stuff like that. So the situation worked out for me perfectly. And I think it was like the right amount of time before I had to go to Russia. So it was good.
Charlotte? Unless Doug has a follow-up.
Go ahead, Doug.
All right, thanks, Charlotte. And just how quickly, have you meshed with Dewana? Obviously, the talented players in the post. Just how is that kind of, how's that been, and how do you expect that to evolve?
Yeah, I expect it to be great. Obviously, DB was someone that I talked to constantly and trying to get her here to come to Connecticut. So I was definitely involved heavily in the recruiting process and trying to get her here. So I think it's going to be good. DB is a person that's easy to get along with. She wants the best for the team. She's selfless, like me. So there's definitely no clashes of personality or anything like that. And I'm looking forward to it. But I've only had like 2 official practices, and I came in and did like an optional practice with the team. But so it's still a lot of learning, still a lot of growing, but I expect it to be something that definitely thrives and that we're successful.
Hi, JJ. This is Charlotte Quell from The Athletic. It's nice to meet you. I've got a different question, but want to follow up on that actually. What were you doing to try and recruit Dewana last season? Or trying to make your pitch?
Constantly texting, constantly talking about the team and telling her how good we could be together. Just that she's the missing piece for us to just take it over the edge and win a championship. Just buttering the bread, and I buttered the bread correctly.
What have you seen from your returning teammates, Bree Jones and Natisha, and the growth that they've made last season to what you've come back to?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Bree has just always killed overseas. She had a good bubble season, but I'm just excited for Bree to be in a new role, starting and us playing together a little bit more and just seeing how that grows as well. But she definitely is dominant underneath there. I can hit her with the dump down, high-low passes all day. She's quick, so she's getting down the court and sealing really quickly. So a lot of positives, but like I said, I haven't had too much time here, so I'm just literally just learning right now and trying to make sure I refresh myself with all the plays and sets and stuff before we get on the court against Atlanta.
We'll go to Jackie, and Ned will be the last after her.
Hi, JJ. My name's Jacqueline Leblanc. I'm from the Next. It's really nice to meet you. Just talking about Dawana, what have you seen from her game, just competing against her for all those years and then actually getting on the practice court with her yesterday and throughout this week? Are there any components of her game that have surprised you in any sort of way?
Well, obviously she's a great scorer. She's able to create her own shot. She's able to, she's so tall, she's just shooting over defenders. But I think something that I don't really say it surprised me, but that I'm realizing with her being in practice is that she has good basketball mind, and she's able to break down the game for like our rookies and our younger players in order for them to slow down the game and be able to see things that they probably wouldn't normally see. And so I appreciate that. And she's speaking up and definitely making sure that people hear her voice. So I think that's something I didn't expect, but I'm happy to see.
Mm-hmm. And if I could ask a quick follow-up question, JJ, I know disrespect and the underdog mentality is big over the last couple of seasons, but what do you think this team's ceiling is, and what do you think other people are underestimating, I guess, for the Sun this year?
I think Kurt kind of hit on it today in practice. People talking about our bench and saying that I think our bench just isn't as good as some of the other benches in the league, and I think that's one way that we're going to be able to grow. Me personally, I always feel like people underestimate me. I always feel like for the things that I've been able to do in the league, that I don't know, like I just don't feel like there's enough respect behind my name. And so I'm coming into the season definitely trying to prove something, especially because I sat out last year. So I think our ceiling is as high as we want it to go. I think we can be a very successful team, but it all comes down to how we mesh on the court and how we're able to problem solve, as we hit adversity. So as of right now, I'm not going to say too much on the ceiling, but I know that we're going to be a good team.
Awesome. Thank you, JJ.
No problem.
Afternoon, JJ. Welcome back.
Thanks, Ned.
With all the new pieces this year, with you coming back, with 18 not being able to play, do you have any sense of how long this might take for you guys to get chemistry built here?
Oh, no, not really. Chemistry is just such a fickle thing. Like it can be quick, it can be a little bit slower. So like I said, I can't really say, but I mean, obviously a lot of us know the plays and we're familiar with the sets and stuff like that, especially the starters, because most of us have already been in the system for like at least 1 year for DB and a few years for other people. So just us going through the plays and just really doing some 5-on-0 stuff today, I could tell that like we know where to be, but it's just more about understanding the tendencies and the things that people prefer to do on the court. So I think that'll take a little bit more time, but I think we have the hardest part down packed when it comes to us just being in the right places and plays and just understanding what the reads are and what they're for.
Follow up, how are the dogs?
That's crazy that you asked that. I was just telling the team that I'm going to bring them back when we play Atlanta because they're with my sister. So they're good. They're coming back with me to Connecticut after this first game.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. JJ, you're all set. Thank you so much.
Hi, Beatrice. It's great to chat with you today. So I was just wondering, what have been some of the main changes you've seen in your play from your rookie year to now?
Just staying focused. The game the speed of the game is really majority of what like I had a tough time with, and the strength of other players. But overall, throughout my overseas season and last year's season, that pretty much just helped me.
Thank you.
Alexa?
Hey Beatrice, two quick ones. First, we saw the Sun posted that you got your master's today. For congratulations. And what did
Thank
you
you.
get your degree in?
I got my degree in liberal arts. I don't really know what I'll do with it. I mean, it's an exciting moment for me.
Nice, very cool. Well, you can do a lot of different things with it probably. Other question, basketball wise, what I know it's only been 2 days, but having JJ back, what has that looked like? What have you learned from her so far? And what excites you most about getting to play with her finally this season?
I mean, just having her back is an exciting moment. You know, her game speaks for herself. You know, throughout practice, she just helped me and guided me through certain things compared to like last year, I guess.
Thanks.
Doug?
Beatrice, Doug Montour, Hearst Connecticut Media. Kind of going off that, had you heard from John Quell last year? I knew you were just kind of coming in, so it was different. But as a veteran, did she reach out to you, or you know, what have your interactions been like?
Through WhatsApp here and there, but you know, I guess it was difficult, like, or I guess like the time and like, but throughout the whole season last year, she'll reach out here and there, I guess.
What type of advice has she been giving you?
Just staying confident and, you know, playing my game, being true to myself. Yeah, just play the game as it goes. No need for me to be rushing or anything like that.
Jacqueline?
Hi, Beatrice. Could you talk a little bit about just what the message was today in camp for, you know, your final kind of day of training camp before you guys kick the season off tomorrow?
You know, just going out there, playing our game, staying focused, sticking to the game plan, having great help side. Majority of the practice is what we worked on.
Thank you.
Any other questions for B? Okay.
Thank
We're
you.
all set.